All the disrespect before you play back, button check. Button check.
What is up, Butt Check family? Welcome back to yet again a beautiful brand new week of checking these buttons. Hope you guys had a good weekend. We got a hot banger today. Some of them just broke this morning, and we also got hot debates. So without further ado, let us check these weekend buttons. Why would I say weekend? I literally just said the weekend is over. Let us check these new weekday buttons. Let's go. All right, now into the next set of Ingrid does not belong in Street Fighter 6 buttons that need to be checked. This was a hot one, man. This one, okay, so you know we got a new reveal, obviously. Who do we get? We got Alex, we got Sagat, we got Ingrid, and we got Sea Viper. So, you know, some are hitting, some are not. Some are more popular. Obviously, we go through this shit every time. But one in particular is sticking out, Ingrid. Because Ingrid hasn't been around in a while. Apparently, she was out in one of the worst fucking editions of Street Fighter ever. So people are calling out others saying, oh, I'm an Ingrid fan, and they're calling out shit. I've seen a lot of tweets where like, just fucking be real. Don't say you're a fucking Ingrid fan because you never played her. Nobody really wasn't that invested. Just say you're looking forward to play her or you think she's cute. Some shit like that, right? Others are going as far to say she doesn't fit in the fucking game at all. Okay, starting right here. Somebody by the name of Shuckle says, why do I suddenly have like 10 people in my mentions going, Ingrid hate is so forced? It's bizarre amount of people using similar phrasing. Have you considered she is a character who doesn't fit into Street Fighter? This one has about 935 likes. But continuing on, others respond to that saying Rose in Street Fighter, Rose in Street Fighter 5, by the way. And then right here saying, dumbest opinion I've read so far, considering the amount of crazy shit Street Fighter used to have. And continuing right here, others simply say no, or you could have finished this tweet with, have you considered she is in fact hated, but instead you give credence to her hate is forced. And mind you, this is the same series that we can play as a guy in a thong acting like God, some weirdo LARPing as president of the world, a mystical fortune teller, a stretchy Indian man, two shape-shifting blobs, and a magical girl who is too much for Street Fighter. Really? And even more saying, yeah, sure, because Bison rolls, Dawsum, etc. fits perfectly, being characters that can fly, teleport, have cycle power, split flames, etc. And have you played World Tour? We can fight angels and demons and have sumo wrestlers flying through the skies to get to business meetings. Now you want to go by the lore. Laugh my ass off. Even deeper, somebody posts this saying, Ingrid doesn't fit in Street Fighter, and you see Gil. I was just thinking about, like, I was like, wait, what the fuck is Gil in the first place? Because he's not a god, as far as I know. He's a man. Wasn't he like the leader of the Illuminati? Like one of them dies, they become them reincarnated or some shit like that. I'm still confused on how he has superpowers. I don't know. But then below that, it's even funnier, man, because somebody starts posting other characters right here. And you got G, which I fucking hate as well. Dude has been there from the start. Blanca, like I said, I'm biased. I got no hate from my OGs. And then you got Rose. I'm indifferent. Isn't Rose based off JoJo's character? And you got this piece of shit right here saying there's a wizard in the game right now, and you have JP. Listen, if you are a JP player, I'm just gonna say this real quick. You're a bitch. You're a bitch. I don't like JP. All you do is throw fucking magic everywhere, projectiles. You don't fight. Oh, the fight started. Departure, amnesia, embrace, Tobla, Lavushka. You're a bitch. Anyway, now that I got that shit off my chest, we got Roofle Monger posting this video that I was talking about earlier. I'm gonna put the link down below because the thing is about 15 minutes long. We're just gonna check out a couple minutes, breaking down what is the big deal about Ingrid in the first place. Check it out.
Ingrid was presented as the face of this game. She is the only original character for the game. Everyone else is from somewhere else. And of the time too, for Capcom reusing a lot of assets, this is the dirtiest asset flip they ever did. Almost nothing is new for this game except for Ingrid and her sprite. So you take that and it is definitively Capcom's worst ever fighting game. Straight up, like actually. Combination of both bad and lazy and unfun. It's a real winner, right? So yeah, no one liked this game at all. And then also this was Capcom's last fighting game until Street Fighter 4 came back and kind of revitalized the fighting game genre. So this left a very, very, very bad taste in many people's mouths. And then Well, look at the character select screen. Ingrid's there front and center. She's the main character. It's her game, right? So it's kind of hard to disassociate the badness, the garbage of Capcom Fighting Evolution with Ingrid, because they're kind of inexorably linked together, especially for people who are playing at the time. So that alone creates an awful association with any of the old timer players. And of course, you know, there's other reasons, like she's got the whole magical girl thing going on. Not everyone's a fan of that. Also, generally how she's presented, because especially now in the Street Fighter context, why she's definitely gonna get reworked. She's you know, multi-thousand-year-old space goddess, like, or at least godlike. You know, it's kind of reeks of like, oh, this is my original character sort of vibe. But yeah, then we take Capcom's literal worst fighting game of all time, and she's the face of it. There's bad blood created out of the gate. So what kind of character is Ingrid, now that we got kind of the origin story out of the way, right? So once again, she's meant to be either a god outright, or at least a god-like individual, demigod maybe. She's shown in her Capcom Fighting Evolution ending. She goes against Pyron and destroys him. And if you don't know your Darkstalkers, Pyron is effectively Capcom's equivalent of Galactus. So he's kind of strong, right? And Ingrid can chump him out. Like in some of the comics, Pyron is the reason the dinosaurs died 65 million years ago, right? So he's a planetary level being. And then the Ingrid is nothing, because Ingrid has her crest. She's the messenger of the stars. She's heavily linked to like a star/sun theme, right? And she has her crest, which has also come up in her only other appearance. So she was a playable character in the PSP version of Street Fighter Alpha 3. So like, even back in the day, I had the Game Boy Advance version. That one had even though, once again, in the few appearances she's had, her power is not Psycho Power explicitly. They might wrap it back around to tie it into it some way, somehow. Because her power coding in the original games is more of a golden deal. It's not the Psycho Power purple. That said, though, that's basically the history lesson. So if you didn't know much about Ingrid, this is basically everything to know. She's a weird character, showed up in a game everybody hated, and by association, a lot of people just hate her directly or indirectly for either being in the game or a few other reasons. I myself do not like Ingrid in the shape that she's been in. However, new game, she has an all new look. I like the redesign. I actually dig it. I like the whole cleric-y kind of medieval look that she has going on. And this is a fresh start. They can reinvent her. I don't like the character as it stands. However, the character as it stands is not the character it's going to be.
All right, so there y'all have it. Definitely check out the rest of his video, link down below. So we'll see. And like he was saying, it's not going to be hard to make her appealing or to make her pop, because as of right now, you're kind of starting from zero from the oppression that people have. But one that I thought would have been cool is fucking Sodom. Y'all remember Sodom? I believe he was in Alpha 1 and 2, and he hasn't made it, unless I'm wrong, he has not made a reappearance since. Somebody actually did this fucking mod right here, and I think it's dope as hell. I'm gonna play it in the background. Check this out. I'm gonna put their link down below. They made this 3 months ago. Look how dope this shit looks. Look at this. Let me put some audio on this shit. Hold on. I even think they do some gameplay. For what he was able to do, I think it's pretty cool. In Sodom, period, let me go ahead and take the audio off of this. Sodom, I think, would fucking kill it. I think a redesign, bringing him back for the first time in fucking years, I think he would hit so fucking hard. But that's just me. Maybe I'm just, you know, wishing. I'm still fucking hung up on Street Fighter 4 characters coming back. But either way, how y'all feeling? Let me know. All right, first up for that much anticipated Invincible versus with that EVO interview buttons that need to be checked. We talked about this one slightly, I think just yesterday when the game just dropped. A lot of people reacting, caught a lot of people off guard. We're like, holy shit, we got another tag fighter. Well, I believe the tag team, who was the former, what was it, like KI team, did an interview with the EVO team. They just posted it a few hours ago, so we're about to break out or react to some highlights. Link down below for the full action, because I think the video is just over 12 minutes long. So we're just gonna check out some key notes or key moments. Let's go.
My first impressions of playing Invincible Versus was a huge moment for me. Oh yeah. I've had a lot of like really cool experiences. I've been on sets and watched my comics get turned into TV shows. But to see the characters of Invincible in a fighting game, I don't know, it was so magical and so exciting.
Bro,
I cried.
There's blood everywhere. Oh, so that was the first time you got to play it?
I think one of the key elements to Invincible, be it the comic or the show, is the insane and absolutely brutal fights.
Wait, what was that? Did that say crush counter right there? Hold on.
I think one of the key elements to Invincible, be it the comic or the show, is the insane and absolutely brutal fights. It's kind of our marquee thing, and we do these absolutely epic battles that you experience on your couch that hopefully are blowing you away. But this game is really the first time that you can actually experience these and feel them as you're living them. And to be honest,
look at that fucking carpet. Is that his house or something? Look at that shit. Look at this. He literally has the wall, like the setup here, and the floor is covered in blood. That is, that's dope.
It's something that dials up the intensity of action, the intensity of violence, the intensity of combat. And to me, one of the most impactful things in a fighting game is your first impression. And that's the thing that my brain always goes to. When you press buttons, when you do stuff, what is the response?
Dude, this big dude. Oh my God, that assist is crazy.
And yeah, watching a character, you know, a 3v3 tag fighter with so much gore, that's like the first thing that was like, wow, this is different. This is something I'd never seen before.
Like most fighting games nowadays, you don't have the opportunity to create something completely new, right? Most of these fighting games that exist, they're very high in the iterative number of whatever their series is. And if you deviate from that too much, the fan base kind of revolts against you. They're like, dude, that's not my same game that I'm growing up liking. But in this opportunity we have, we can do whatever we want, right?
I think what the FGC is looking for kind of similar to what other people are looking for. It's just like, give me something new. Give me something I haven't seen before. Especially people that are fans of Invincible, they're gonna be like, oh wow, I've never seen it in this light.
I am ending you. I see it all now. Every single molecule.
Knock that head off.
We do want the characters to have the same sort of body type, the same overall proportions, the same silhouette. But then at that point, when you get to that baseline, it's a question of how do I build upon it? How do I add those secondary, tertiary details from the rips in the clothes to the blood stains to the smaller details in the hair and the facial features. We want it to feel like Mark through and through. And that's exactly why it's exciting, because it's a challenge.
Skybound is a really hands-on company, and it just adds a level of authenticity that I think is kind of unparalleled.
Essentially, when Mike Willett calls, I pick up the phone. You know, he's a guy that I love working with. I was aware of Invincible. I was like, oh my God, what don't they have? Kaiju, superheroes, monsters, an elephant man. I mean, it's just like throw a rock, you're gonna hit something amazing. So it's good problems to have, right?
All the same folks that put together one of the most impossible games, now one of the most well-received fighting games of all time, is working on another fighting game. It's kind of like a dream come true. The crew that put together Killer Instinct, that's now working on Invincible, is pretty much responsible for approaching fighting games with a different perspective, with something that wanted to give agency to players that were on defense and offense, to have you have a level of mind games beyond just what's going on in that one specific moment. They want you to think of what happened before and what happened after a lot. That's actually in this game too. In a 3v3 game, you sort of like can touch the opponent once and they're toast, man. It's just, it's kaputski for that character. I really dig the fact that there's so much defense and offensive options in this game, but the commitment to having a full 3v3 tag fighter from, you know, a developer that hasn't done that before leads me to hope there's going to be a whole bunch of new concepts and things we haven't seen.
So this is kind of like giving me the vibe of 2XKO in the sense where they have their ear to the FGC street. You can see their video, like every other shot, they have a notable FGC figurehead, whether they're a player, a commentator, a content creator, in here testing it out and getting their feedback. So in other words, what I'm trying to say is, in the end, if 2XKO and Incredible Versus fails, it's our fault. That's what that's what the fuck I'm trying to say. Maybe the FGC needs to shut the fuck up and we really don't know what we're talking about. Remember we had that debate on that one video where people were talking about players make the worst critiques or give the worst advice because it's so fucking biased. To be a proper dev, to be the guy that actually balances a game takes so much nuance and somebody that sees such a bigger scope, right? Than just a fucking player that could be biased. So maybe at the end of the day, the fucking, I guess, success kind of teeters on, does the FGC really know what the fuck we want? Because I don't know if I've seen people that work this closely with the FGC when it comes to projects like Invincible Versus and 2XKO. Anyway, food for thought.
Time on its own. When the FGC gets their hands on the game, what I hope happens is they get a ton of excitement. They get to see familiar faces that they want to dig into. And critically, I hope they go, oh, I want to lab this game. I want to lab this game for hours. That would make me so happy. It's not just the hype and excitement from like doing big combos or the brutality, but for them to really want to dig into the systems that are there. Because I think that's what's going to keep them there for the long haul.
And obviously at this point, all we can do is wait. And like I said in the other video, the more the merrier. We'll see. Hopefully it's good. Let's just glass half full. Let's hope it's good and we'll see. I'm really hoping that since they're taking so much feedback from players and these content creators and whatnot, that they did it last. That it fucking lives and we can be like, holy shit, the FGC actually helped those games. And maybe more devs will actually go in that direction. Now, if they don't, if they're flops or whatever, then que sera, sera, we'll have to move on to the next and hold that fucking L. But until then, like I said, glass half full, baby. Glass half full. And I remember some of you in the comments yesterday saying you think 2XKO is gonna survive or pop because it's like they're gonna have that Riot money. I remember I used to say that in the beginning as well, but then I remember also talking to Dirty Low and he was like, yo, Riot doesn't have a big budget for all of their games. So we don't really know what they're gonna do for this one. I guess that's another point to take into consideration. But either way, like I said, so far, so good. How y'all feeling? Let me know. That it is, ladies and gents. Definitely let me know how you were feeling. Thank you for rocking with us one more time. If I don't post later today again, it'll definitely be tomorrow. As always, I don't know what it is, but I know it's about to get better. Love y'all forever. Peace.
Blah, blah, blah. Subscribe.
Departure, amnesia, embrace, Tobla, lavushka. You're a bitch. You're refusing to actually engage projectile-based bitch. And I know what you're thinking, oh, this coming from the Gal player. Okay, you wanna use that? Okay, well think about this. Number one, fuck you. And number two, Guy was here first. He's an OG. He wins, bitch. Number three, you're a bitch. That's what I'm saying. Anybody who plays JP is a bitch. You're like, oh, what about Kakaru? Kakaru ain't got shit to do with this. Just between me and you. I'm arguing with you, motherfucker. And you say, Nesto, why you keep moving the goalpost? The goalpost is supposed to be moved. How do you think they got the shit in the stadium in the first place? It's movable, bitch. Pretty sure I lost this argument.